Shalom, shalom, shalom. Hey, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. We give all the praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. We give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and continue to rule well and to teach and correct us men, under their rulership, man. All right, and peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's teaching this word in truth and sincerity. And truth and sincerity is important. And sometimes, as I'm going to go into briefly in this brief video, sometimes being sincere, you can still go off, man. And it's a dangerous thing, man. All right. It's a dangerous thing. Second, man, there's too many niggas around there making too much noise. But yeah, as I was saying, it's a dangerous thing. There's truth, man. It's because it's a serious thing, and the last thing you want to do is, bring out scriptures and break them down incorrectly and teach incorrectly, man. So what I'm going to show you is a brief video by the Apostle Aramla, and it's just going to show you a precept which I have been guilty of breaking down incorrectly in the past, but I've already been corrected by my elder Laban. Of the correct, the correct breakdown, and Apostle Ramlab's gonna just show you real quick, and so I'm gonna play this, all right, and this is just a lesson and a brief warning, man, to be careful when you're breaking these scriptures down, because look, the scripture that he's gonna break down, you can make sense of it in today's, for future prophecy, okay? But when it comes to scriptures that are pertaining to past events, if you're going to use those scriptures to show something that is, a future prophecy that hasn't happened yet, it needs to be clarified. All right, that needs to be clarified that, what you're saying is relevant to what is happening, but this has already happened. All right, if you understand my meaning. So I'm gonna let the apostle, go into that real quick, and yeah, man, and then you'll understand. So I'm gonna play this right now.
I was saying, brothers got to be careful, and when you try to use these scriptures, this scripture right here in Daniel 8:25 is not talking about now. See, and this is why I was telling brothers, you can't use that right now unless you qualify it, because now brothers are going to be using that scripture, and another brother's going to...
So like it's a cut that there, but when he says qualify, he means to explain that you're using it in the context of it being in the past, but the scriptures that can double up with this, with a particular meaning, man. You can use it to show something, but you have to clarify, or as he says, qualify.
See, and then they're going to use it to symbolize it. This scripture here in Daniel 8:25, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall fall, something like that, without hands. That's talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. And this is why Spirit had me say yesterday, when you brothers bring these scriptures out, make sure you qualify what you're talking about, and then you could use it as an example for today. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have other brothers that are coming in, reading that, seeing that, bringing that out, and they're going to keep repeating the same mistake over and over again and thinking that it's talking about today, when it's not talking about today. It was talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. This is why the Spirit had me say that. You have to qualify. Apostle Tar always says you've got to qualify everything that you do. When you speak about they come falling away first, you have to explain what that means. When you speak about through his policy, he causes craft to prosper. If you're going to use it for today as an example, you have to qualify it by saying that was referring to Antiochus Epiphanes back then, but it's used today as, let the scripture say, the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. Anyways, moving on.
Right, so that's pretty self-explanatory on that, you know. So, it's just a lesson for anybody that has been guilty of doing that, man. And I myself have been, as I said before. So it's not like you can't use certain scriptures, man, that are past history, but it has to be explained that it's an example, man, because what the scripture says, I don't want to butcher that either. So you know what? Let me just get that because I don't want to paraphrase that. What's that? Jesus, this was it. So okay. Well, yeah. Oh, I didn't realise that. Yeah, Ecclesiastes. Oh, I was in the right chapter. I just thought it was at the beginning. So it says Ecclesiastes 3:15 says that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and Yahweh requireth that which is past. So the history repeats itself basically. All right, but as the apostle Aramla explained there, if you're gonna use such scriptures, man, explain the proper breakdown, if you will, and then you can use that as an example, man, because what goes around comes around, man. All right, simple as. All right, and I'm just gonna read one more. And actually, I'm gonna read this as well, man. All right, because this is I was gonna read something else in here, but I'm gonna read this. If Ephesians 4:11, it says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry. See that, for the perfecting of the saints. So he gave some apostles, right? Which is the key word there, and teachers, all right, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. This is why we have our apostles, man, and our elders, man. See, so we see. Sometimes in this thing, you're foolish, man, and you forget that we're forever learning, man, forever learning. All right, and if you're not sure about particular scriptural breakdown, man, you just ask your elders, man, or your teachers. All right, so it says verse 13 says till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High Yahweh, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of a Mashiach. Meaning that we're doing this, man. We're trying to be like Yahweh Shai. We would never, on this side of things, be like Yahweh Shai, right? He was perfect, right? It says that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Now, I'm not saying that brothers have been bringing out that scripture just to deceive, but you can deceive people unknowingly, all right? We don't want to be doing that, man, because their blood will be on our hands, man. And I'll read this last one. Ephesians 4:29 says, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers, man. So, no corrupt communication, man. It must all be for edification, and you can only edify if it's correct. All right. So yeah, on that note, man, that's it on that, So I say to this to myself and to any other brothers out there that are learning, just be careful, man. You know, but mistakes have been made all the time, man. And the elders are always there to correct us, man. All right, and thank you, how about Shemi Oshai for that. You know, we were supposed to be corrected, man. I was just trying to think of one more scripture. I can't quite think of it now. So yeah, I'm not gonna hang about on that. So yeah, here we'll close out. Take heed, man. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But once more, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Shem Dash. Double honors, sincerely to the apostles, our apostles, and our elders, a great millstone, and blessings upon you, Arkham out there, doing this work sincerely in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. More witness is edifying, and shalom to the next one.